solid plan. Spins a yarn, recants a tale. The esoteric approach won't fail. Tune in, it's time for Common Man. Common Man, Common Man, charms the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Oh boy! Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello? Rosa, you don't know nothing.
The Bears are who we thought they were. That's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Purple pride, purple pride. The system is working the way it should work.
Lunches. He's a rube.
You're breaking up, Bob.
You're breaking up.
Cam Dantzler, what are you doing? What a snag!
Yeah, I always love that one.
And that's ridiculous.
Time for 2 more questions, guys.
And he's loose!
I'm going to say something controversial.
That's interesting.
I've seen enough out of Cousins, Paul. Put him on ice.
That is B-I-G big for this football team.
Super Bowl, homeboy. I want to win, and I want to win now.
I'm unlimited, Mr. Unlimited.
That's a bunch of malarkey. You like that? You like that?
He's the clown from Brown. He's the 4th in the North. This is the Common Man, Dan Cole.
And 1 begins in 5, actually 3, but 5 sounds like more than 4, 2, 1. Greetings, good afternoon, ack, and ack, you and yours. I'm the Common Man, Dan Cole, Radio Dinosaur. Fans, my La Brea Tar Pit someday, paleontologists and archaeologists will be sifting through the rubble that will be 1600 Utica Avenue South, and they'll stumble across my skeletal remains with my cold, dead, rigor mortis-laden lips attached to this Neumann BCM 104 microphone, and they'll say, egad, a social commentator with the archaic communication device. This is the Fan, the worst all-sports radio station in the country. Sports. Our whole lives are just sports, and I'll tell you what, shockwaves still reverberating for the San Antonio Spurs' complete and total collapse in Game 4 of the NBA Finals, giving the New York Knickerbockers a commanding 3-1 lead as they get ready for Game 5. I think it's tonight. It might be tomorrow. Meanwhile, the Hurricanes have a stranglehold on the Stanley Cup. They go up 3-2 with a win last night over the Las Vegas Golden Knights. World Cup soccer has begun. We're all excited. Nordo has
basketball games tomorrow.
Nordo has a watch party appearance tonight at B52s in Inver Grove Heights. Starts at 8 o'clock, so we have World Cup soccer going on. Twins lose again. They get just destroyed 11-0 on getaway day. They open a 3-game series. I think it's with Detroit, but I don't know. Or did they just finish with Detroit? And then, of course, there's the HBC, FBI.
They got the Cardinals tonight.
The who?
St. Louis Cardinals.
St. Louis Cardinals tonight. Then, of course, there's the PGA's HBC, FBI, CIA, BBC, Canadian Open taking place. And the Vikings quarterback controversy continues. With all of those topics to get to, I'm really not sure to where to begin. Why don't we spin the wheel of topics?
Wheel of Topics!
Oh, I didn't even mention the program passing the invitation to the semifinal today.
Commons golf game.
Oh, I'm glad you asked.
What did you shoot today?
77 Sunset Strip. Oh, yeah, the snap, and you did it. 77 Sunset Strip.
Where'd we play?
Prestwick at Wedgwood in Woodbury.
Where'd you hit it on one?
Right at the gut.
How far from the green were you?
I had a 9-iron in my hand. I think I had 115 to the flag.
Second shot?
I hit it just short and right on the fringe.
Then what?
I was thinking, do I want to make birdie because it's been suggested it's bad luck, or do I want to just miss it slightly right and have good luck and make par? And so I missed it and made a par.
Incredible.
It's starting to come together a little bit, Teneby. I'm taking Master Professional Craig Warrion, who is a Master Professional member of the Minnesota Golf Hall of Fame, teaching professional. Both his dad and his uncle are in the Minnesota Golf Hall of Fame as well. His uncle was the first ever head golf professional at Hazeltine National Golf Course, which we were just at the other day. And Craig told me, he goes, just when he watched me at Edinburgh, he said, square my shoulders to the target and just relax and just swing easy. I tend to want to lean into the ball and get quick. And I'm slowing things down a little bit. And really, 77 was about the worst I could. And I got away with a couple of shots today. Approach shot on 16 at a 7-iron in my hand, par 5 over the pond, middle left pin. And I kind of leaned into it a little bit, and I hit a lower shot, a line drive. But what happened is it hit the embankment right in front of the hole, in front of the green, popped up in the air, and then trickled up to about 10 feet, and I made the putt for birdie. So I got a break or two out there. I also the putter was actually it was the best of my clubs and the worst of my clubs. I 3-putt twice, once from 35 feet on 6. I had 35 feet and I hit it 43. Why would you do that? And I missed the 8-footer coming back. Then on 8, I had 54 feet, and it just died out 6 feet short, and I missed that putt. But then I birdied. I hit 3 perfect shots on 9 and bounced par 5, bounced back with a birdie there. 11, I playing into the wind. I didn't hit a very good drive, short of the green. From about 40 yards, I hit a magnificent a sand wedge to 3 feet. But what's the rule when you're playing at Teneby? If you've learned anything from me, see how close you pay attention. What do you do if you're playing at the wick?
You keep it below the stick.
And I didn't. I had 3 feet with a little tiny break to it. It wasn't a hard. I let it get in my head, and I missed it. Then I missed a short 4-footer after another remarkable wedge shot, a little bump and run from left of the cart path on 13, and I missed that straight up the hill. But then I also hit a really testy 12-foot downhiller on 15 to make par. And then 2 great lag putts on 17 and 18, both long, 25-footer, should have went in, 45-footer, should have went in. And so, yeah, I'm starting to do the things I used to do that made me good. Do you have any more questions about my round? Anything else you want to know about it?
I think we have it covered.
You think that does it? That pretty much does it. You know, there's this idea, and this, I don't know if it's a rumor. I was looking for a different word, but, you know, this
scuttlebutt?
That, common man doesn't prepare for his program. Well, for the program. While all others, like your big tickets and your Power Trip morning show and your Paul Allens and your Colin Cowards and your Jimmy Romes and your Pat McAfee.
Your Fan Outdoors.
Yeah, and your Fan Outdoors, they actually prepare. They say, okay, what are the topics? They really do. They hear all the topics. Should we get a guest for this? Can we have the second day's take on the first day? That kind of thing. Just to show you that I do preparation, last night, along with one of the members of the writing staff, we were working on material for today's show, all based upon Odell Beckham Jr. when he says $100 million is really $60 million after taxes. And then, you buy your mom a house, buy myself a car, and then it's spend, save, invest, use, flaunt. Can you make it last? So we were working on some lists, including introspection, recollection, reflection. Can you learn from the past? Glass, plastic, cardboard. Can you recycle your trash? Jog, trot, sprint. Can you run a 60-yard dash? Sideswipe, head on, T-bone, fender bender. Have you been in a crash? Candles, cake, gifts, party favors. Have you been to a birthday bash? Audacious, cocky, loud, bold. Can you be brash? Chide, tease, annoy, taunt. Can you be an ass? One of my favorites. Concealed, hidden, unseen, private. Do you have a secret stash? Eczema, dermatitis, psoriasis, hives. Do you have a rash? Mavericks. I'm having trouble keeping a straight face. Mavericks, Suns, Lakers, Nets. Do you like Steve Nash? Peso, dollar, euro, yen. Do you have cash? Hawkeye, radar, hot lips, BJ. Did you watch MASH? You want me to keep going? Handlebar, pencil, Fu Manchu. Do you have a mustache? Cannonball, belly flop, pencil dive. Can you make a splash? So tell me I wasn't prepping for today's show. You know when these were? These were during the 8 o'clock hour at night. It's 8 o'clock at night, and I'm thinking about the noon hour the next day. Rewrite? What do you think?
It was great. I really liked that bit. I can't wait to hear more.
I think we've extinguished all of them. I don't think there's any more. This was like it probably was a half hour, 45 minutes of show prep. After a while, you just can't. There is a limited number of them. I found it's not unlimited, Mr. Limited. It wasn't unlimited. But just to show you this idea that there's no show prep, it's insane. It's fake news, is what it is. We do have a really big shoe today. Lil B will join us at 1 o'clock for a feminine touch of the program for 2 segments. Then it is program password quarterfinal action. Tennessee. The Maestro of the morning and the Buffoon at noon will team up to take on Falvey and Falvey. Did I say Falvey? I meant Helvey. It'd be news if Falvey came in because he doesn't work here anymore. He left town. High energy Helvey and Kevin Paulus. That's at 1:30 today. So that and so much more.
Gospel, readings, communion. Do you like Mass?
Do you like Mass? Very good. See? It's kind of fun, isn't it? There's all sorts of things you can do. We'll take a break. We'll come back with a little This, That, Lad here on the Common Man program by the Fan.
Common and Core.
Join Nordo and KFAN for a Team USA watch party tonight at B-52s in Inver Grove Heights. Catch USA versus Paraguay. Kicking off at 8 p.m. with games, prizes, and drink specials, all while rooting for the red, white, and blue. We'll see at B-52 Burgers and Brew tonight in Inver Grove Heights.
Peek at the password is really what I need to do. Peek at the purple brought to it. I do need help. Long-term psychiatric care. Well, it won't allow me to, I received I'm trying to get, one of my favorite, I love including the listeners with the Brad, John Broughton, KFAN text line. And every once in a while it'll happen where I'll go to, every show has their own login site, right? It says D : and I click it and then it sends me a verification code on my email. I get it. I put it in and then it says invalid verification code. No, it's not. I checked and triple checked it. So then I do it again, and it keeps saying invalid verification code. Please use the received code or request a new one by logging in again. need help? I say, okay. And then it just does the same thing. And this happened the other day, too. And then I just started punching. This happened Wednesday, and I just started randomly punching buttons, and it started to work again. But then because when I asked Chad Abbott for help, I said, hip cricket's not working. You know what he texted back? Bummer. That was it. Just bummer.
I always love that. That's not
the response I was waiting for. I was hoping you'd say, hey, I'll be right down and try to help you.
What can I do for you? Yeah.
Yeah. Just try to help you through.
How can I help the show?
Yeah. But apparently it just doesn't work, and I don't know why. So I can't communicate, and that all the listeners, at least 50 to 75% of the show is all listener driven. They provide the material for me, but apparently we won't be able to do it today. I don't think there was anything purple peaked today that I could think of. I do know that I received a couple of text messages nominating Paul Allen for preposterous statements regarding the purple. One of them was, and I didn't print them today, so they're just sort of off the top of my head. One was early on, like at 9:06. It was basically, well, it's not a given that Kyler Murray is going to be the starting quarterback of the Vikings. That was PST number one. And the next one was also Kyler Murray related. He said something about his running is, he's one of the best runners, or, you know, he was raving about what a great runner he is. And maybe he is, but I mean, I think people I didn't hear the exact quote from PA, but you know how it is. You get excited and you're Barney the Purple Dinosaur and you're the voice of the Vikings, you're a national treasure, and you get hyped. You get pumped up over these things, right? So it all remains to be seen. We heard the coach say yesterday, I was talking to Big Ticket about it during the changing of the guard here from unprepared, uninformed, and unrepentant to poised, polished, and professional. And he, I think, tended to agree with my theory. I think he espouses the same one, that part of the reason you say it's an open competition is to keep McCarthy interested, right? Because he's already probably a little down on himself and the whole situation. We talked about this, Tenneby. All they did was win in high school and college. He's the 10th pick overall, and he's got his little I'm 9. He's got his alter ego. And that first game, the fourth quarter, he was spectacular. He was. And he brought the Vikings back against the Bears. And then he had moments throughout the rest of the year, but he was injured and this, that, and the other thing. And obviously, that's why they went out and got a different quarterback. If they thought he was the guy, they would have just said, we don't need to go sign Kyler Murray. We have our starting quarterback. We believe in him. But I also think because they invested a first-round pick in him, 10th overall, and traded up, they don't want to give up completely on. They saw what happened when they gave up on Darnold. You know, Sam, you know, if you remember, the coach said Sam has earned his right to test free agency. Okay. He did, and he went and won a big game. So they wouldn't want to do that again, especially with a homegrown kid like this, that they actually went out and drafted. And because I think they're still clinging to the hope that he will be a franchise quarterback, leads me to believe that there's even further proof that that wasn't just Cam controlling the draft. Because if, let's say that would have been Cam's pick, McCarthy, I think we may have already had bid adieu to J.J. McCarthy. Like if the head coach wanted nothing to do with him, I don't know why he would change his mind now, right? Now he could, because it's a valuable pick and he did have talent. He won everywhere he went, but I think it's because he had a lot to say with, and so it's your reputation's kind of at stake too, that you are a quarterback whisperer and you drafted this guy. You had a lot to say with it and you don't want to give up on him. And then if you basically come out and say, we have Kyler Murray, he's going to be the starting quarterback, we haven't given up on JJ. Well, then JJ is probably going to be, you know, I mean, he shouldn't be, you know, less enthusiastic, but it would only be natural, right? That it's like, man, they don't think much.
It is weird, though, that we only do that for the quarterback position, right? Like, there's no other position where
this is true.
We have to, like, baby players along because we're afraid of them losing their confidence. Like, Ivan Pace did not get as many reps last year.
Right.
He basically lost his starting job.
Yes.
For the longest time, I thought maybe in terms of J.J. McCarthy's trade value, you get more for him if you act like he's in a quarterback competition and, he just got edged out by Kyler because Kyler was just better, you know?
Right.
But after hearing Kyler's comments about, which Rosen thought he was very angry about him, that, hey, you know, the hardest part right now is just not getting all the reps. Well, maybe they are actually doing a real quarterback competition.
Well, and Barrero, and I don't think he would mind me saying this because he said it to me. He thought that, the only getting half the reps, it's more difficult. He was kind of hard on Murray, off air to me. He was going like, well, maybe if you would have played better, you'd still be in Arizona, and it's just football. Come on. It's, and I get that too, because we said the same thing. And then he and I also talked about, does the offense really need to be that complicated? And he agreed with that. So, but I guess I understand what Big Ticket was saying about Murray, but I do give him a little bit longer leash on that because you are learning, and apparently it is a complicated. If you believe what all of these, the people that are in the sport, the coaches and the players and anybody that makes a living playing football will tell you, learning a playbook is awful complicated. And by all accounts, the one in Minnesota is maybe one of the most complicated. So, and if you are only
this is maybe Kyler's first time ever looking in a playbook, so maybe that's the struggles for him.
Wait, hold on. Because he does like to play video games. So I don't know. It to me, and again, I believe that unless between now and opening day, Murray just shows that he can't get a grasp of the playbook. He just doesn't have the skills. He was a first-round draft pick and Heisman Trophy winner, but he hasn't been able to continue that trajectory, and he's leveled off and maybe even taken a step back, and he's just not going to be the guy. He's a lot of guys can be great players in college and even have a nice start to a pro season, and they just kind of fade away. Or McCarthy's just brilliant, or there's an injury to Murray, but I think Murray is going to be the guy, and it's but maybe it is going to be competition. We'll see what happens. But I still believe Murray will be the guy, barring injury or awful performance by him or brilliant by McCarthy, which I guess all the three of those could happen. So we'll just
I'd still be surprised if Kyler was not the starter.
I would too. But we'll just play this thing out. Let's pause and come back. We do have I want to get Tenebe's thoughts on last night's Hurricanes victory over the Golden Knights to take that 3-2 lead. NBA continues tomorrow, and other topics as well here on the Common Man program on the Fan.
Give Dad the VIP treatment this Father's Day at Canterbury Park. Enjoy incredible eats from a variety of food trucks, thrilling racing action, and enter to win a Lazy Boy recliner from the Furniture Mart. Get the full details at KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
Rummage sales, yard sales, garage sales. Do you like trash? Train in vain. Should I stay or should I go? Rock the Casbah. Do you like the Clash? These are the things we think about on the Common Man program. Here's those PSTs. I looked them up, tend to be. I just love the headline, PST alert from 9:06 a.m. So I look at it immediately. It's Tim who writes, PA, preposterous statement, quote, Kyler Murray isn't that big of a favorite to start week one. He's just not that big of a favorite to start week one, PST. And then the other PST from Barney, it says 10:28 a.m. PA said Kyler Murray is as good and talented at running the ball as anyone ever in the league.
Oh, come on.
As anyone ever in the league. I'm assuming he's including all the great running backs, like the Barry Sanderses of the world and the Thurman Thomases of the world and the Jim Brownses of the world and all the others. Kyler Murray is as good and talented at running the ball as anyone ever in the league. Well, maybe then he won't start at quarterback. Maybe he'll be in the backfield. And then you can have McCarthy at quarterback, and Murray can run the ball. Maybe that's what they're planning on doing. By the way, here's a text message that says, regarding, the quote from Kyler Murray that, hold on. Where did it go? I'm sorry. Where did it go? I just saw it too. It was that it said 2 questions, regarding Kyler Murray saying, hey, it's a real challenge, only getting half the reps to learn the system. Apparently 2 questions later, if you listen to the entire interview, but I did not hear it, he also said he embraces that challenge. So he's saying it's a challenge, but I'm embracing it and I can do it.
Yeah, I feel like that one was overblown a little bit. I never got the vibe listening to his comments.
I didn't either.
I think it's one of those where if you read it as opposed to listening to him, maybe you can take it the wrong way.
Right.
It's the old taken out of context. He was just asked a question, what was the hardest thing, and just kind of gave a straight answer. I didn't think he was like complaining about it or, playing the victim card or anything.
I did not either. And then here's another preposterous statement. Now, are you familiar? We talked about it on Tee to Green. Lucky, the director of golf at the Meadows at Mystic Lake, we did Tee to Green from there. Lucky. He also coaches Northfield boys hockey. And so, John Smoltz, you're familiar with John Smoltz?
I am.
Really talented golfer. He's kind of the impetus behind this new professional golf league. They've conducted a couple of tournaments, and they're going to be doing one at the Meadows at Mystic Lake next week.
Really?
The Smoltzy, Romo, who are the list of players? He mentioned like about a half a dozen of the players. You got your Romoz's, your Smoltzy's, your Adam Thielen's, former, most of them I think are retired athletes from other sports that are really talented golfers, and they've got there's a television contract, and could you Google it for me and see if you can find any information on it? So
what's the name of it?
Well, I don't know. It's just write John Smoltz Golf League. I don't know what the name of it is. That's why I'm struggling here, and it leads into another preposterous.
The Pro
statement.
Tour.
The Pro Tour. And does it have a little description of what it is and who maybe some of the players are? The Pro Tour.
The Pro is the professional golf tour for professional athletes, built for competitors who refuse to fade away after retirement. The Pro gives elite athletes a new arena to chase greatness. Former stars from the world's top league step onto the golf course to compete, earn their place, and prove one thing that still matters: who's the best in this league. $500,000 purse payout per tournament. 80-player field, 176 players waiting. Looks like I can get the... Yeah, so June 16th through the 19th.
Okay.
At the Meadows at Mystic Lake. I'm not going to go through all the names.
No.
I'll try to come up with the most notable names.
Yeah.
Jerome Bettis, Tim Brown, Josh Donaldson, former Twin, Brian Dozier, Marty Fish, Arian Foster. Remember, he was the one who was nominated for the preposterous statement that basically he could take down a wolf or whatever.
And hand-to-hand combat.
Grant Fuhr, Dwight Freeney, Eric Gagne. Or no, Gagne, I'm sorry. That's a different. Brett Hall, Wally Joyner, Ryan Leaf, Kyle Loesch, former Twin.
Okay.
Greg Maddox, Pat Mahomes Sr.
Wow.
Dan Marley, Joe Mauer's playing in it.
Okay.
Mike Madonna, Phil Nevin, TJ Oshie, Joe Pavelski, both very good hockey players. Tuukka Rask, Jeremy Roenick, Tony Romo, Mark Rippon, John Smoltz, Adam Thielen, Nick Van Exel, and then there's more than that as well. Oh, I forgot Ray Allen.
So
some good names.
So on the morning show yesterday, I'm told that Chris Hockney said he'd rather watch that than the Masters, and Ben Lieber agreed. Essentially agreed. Basically agreed.
Until you see him hit a couple shots.
Well, and that's the thing. And again, I can see the curiosity factor. And, is that, I don't know if it's really a preposterous statement because maybe they really would rather watch that. Like me, Tenneby, I'd rather go watch a Little League game in town than go watch the Twins. I really would. I'd rather watch Little League than the Twins. I'd rather watch high school hockey than watch the National Hockey League, the Stanley Cup Finals. I just would. Is that preposterous? You could say it is, but if that's what I prefer as far as spectating. But that's because you don't really like golf. Because if you enjoy golf at the highest levels, you don't want to watch. These guys, they're not any good. They're all, every one of them is a chop. They're a chop. In the grand scheme of life, in the grand scheme of golf, they are chops. Now, they're really good chops, tremendous chops. That was from, which movie was that? Caddyshack, or what were some of the other golf movies? Tin Cup.
Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore. One of the lines was, he's a chop, but he's a tremendous chop. And that's what you get with the John Smoltzes of the world and the Adam thing. They're just chops. And for me, I could see the curiosity factor for a while. I mean, they got a TV contract. I don't know, is it ESPN or where are they? Does it say in that little brief overview that you were reading?
I'm looking over the standings and previous results. Because
they're doing it's nationally televised. I mean, they have a TV contract. There are people that I kind of sort of compare it. It's not the same as, remember when they would do, was it called The Match? Where they would pair like Tiger Woods with Chuck Barkley and Phil Mickelson with Tom. Wasn't it Brady and Peyton Manning were one time? Peyton Manning was on one team, Tom Brady was on the other, and I don't remember who the two pros were. I think Mickelson was one of them. Maybe I think it was Phil and like maybe Bryson DeChambeau, but I don't recall. And I remember I said, wow, hey, that's different. And then you turn it on, and then you watch for about, at least for me, about 20 minutes to a half hour in. It was like sort of how a lot of people feel about the program. Of course, they usually don't even get to 20 or 30 minutes. It might be 13, 14 minutes in. They just go, I think I don't like that. So for me, I could see myself tuning in just to say, well, let's just see what some of these swings look like. And let's see. I'd actually be looking to see how many really bad shots they hit rather than really good shots. But, it's going to be over at the Meadows at Mystic Lake, and more power to them. Hurricanes win last night, Tennessee. I had it on. Deuce and I were watching a little bit of it. And then Deuce, you know what he did? Plugged in the Fire Stick, and he watched soccer last night. It was... who played was it Mexico against, what was the one?
That was the afternoon game. The night game, I think, was South Korea versus...
That's correct.
I forget.
Czechoslovakia.
Czechia.
Yeah, Czechia. And so Deuce watched that. What are your thoughts on the hockey game last night?
I've stated from the get-go there's a coin flip series, and each game has kind of been a coin flip game, even though obviously someone wins each game. It seems like there really hasn't been dominant teams throughout those games. It seems they've both been dominant through stretches, but when the game's over, it's not like it was one-sided. Last night was the first kind of one-sided game, and the first time I think a team in this series has shown some cracks, and that would be Vegas. And there's two things concerning to me if you're a Vegas Golden Knights fan. One, William Karlsson got hurt, and it sounds like he's out the rest of the series. That's a big hit to their center position. He was their number 2 center, and I think we've seen throughout the playoffs how important the center position is. And then the second part was, I thought last night, for the first time, Vegas showed some frustration, which we hadn't seen. Just some dumb penalties after the whistle kind of stuff. Cross-checking everyone in sight. They just kind of unraveled for a little bit, which is weird because the game was still basically tied at the time. And I don't know. Vegas just, for a team that is supposed to be the veteran team that's been there before, they seem to be the more immature team last night. And then, you asked me beforehand, could something like goaltending take over in this series? And that's kind of what's happened with Carolina, is their starter's gone out and their backup has come in, and he hadn't played the entire playoffs, and he's been terrific, and he was good again last night. So right now, Carolina's getting the better goaltending.
Game 6
in Vegas
tomorrow or Sunday?
Both the NBA and NHL are taking 2 days off here. So NBA game is tomorrow night. NHL is Sunday night.
Okay, Sunday night. And
2 days off between games.
A number of people have texted in, and it's from the movie Caddyshack, and it's not Chop, it's actually Slouch. Judge Smale says, I'm no slouch myself. Ty Webb says, don't sell yourself short, Judge. You're a tremendous slouch. And then I did get a text message, Tennessee, here at the Bradshaw and Bryant KFAN text line that says, no offense, Common, but I'd rather watch the pros. I'm not a golf guy, but I've heard a lot of those players. I maybe only know 4 real golfers. Well, yeah, you're just not into the golf game. Like a lot of those names Tennessee mentioned, I know there are some former football players and baseball players, but for me to watch, that would be like if all of a sudden they decided to play basketball, have a pro basketball league, a 3-on-3 league with all PGA players. Would you watch that? Would you watch? You got Phil Mickelson.
Dustin Johnson would be the best basketball player, would he not?
You'd have Dustin Johnson, Phil Mickelson, and Sergio Garcia. And then you would have that threesome playing against Jack Nicklaus, Rory McIlroy, and Xander Schauffele. Would you watch that? No. Why would I want to watch it? It's the same thing. Why? If I want to watch a sport played at an elite level, I want to watch the best in the world at it. That's why you know.
It's for the casuals, right?
It is for the casuals.
Your serious golf fans,
right?
They know that's not the best level of golf. They're not going to care. It's for casual sports fans that love to idolize and pedestalize athletes and can get up close to. Yeah. There's Joe Mauer. He's 10 feet away from me, and I get to watch him hit a golf shot.
Yeah, right.
Maybe he'll say hi to me. Maybe he'll look at me.
Maybe he'll fist bump me when he gets real close. Yeah, and again, I just sort of contradicted myself. I said, if I want to see the best in the world, why would I like Little League over pro baseball? Well, I don't know. I think that's if I'm going to watch professionals play, I'd rather watch the best in the world at it. Be kind of fun though to watch NBA players try to play hockey on skates. That would be interesting. Or baseball players or football players have them skate around. That might be a little different, but yeah.
Let's start our own league for this.
Yeah. The NBA continues tomorrow night, as you mentioned. It will be San Antonio at home, trailing 3-1. Guess what? They have to win 3 in a row. Are they capable? Yeah, I guess. I'm sure this has been talked about. I didn't read any stories about it, but there's always it's the part of the game that does interest me is the psychological part of sports. Trying to get inside the heads of players and coaches and see what makes them tick. And when you have a lead such as San Antonio did in Game 4, they were up 29 points at one time. I think that might even have been the halftime score. It was a large margin. And I think for all intents and purposes, most people, I guess, except for the Knickerbockers themselves, I like the way they said they never quit. Well, you would hope you wouldn't quit. Particularly, that's a regular season game. The Knickerbockers don't come back and beat the San Antonio.
Correct.
It just doesn't happen. But because it's for the
Their
cup,
starters are taken out of the game.
Exactly. But because it's for the cup, it's like, well, as long as we're here, we may as well try. And we talked yesterday just about the strategies or the lack thereof on San Antonio's part. We talked about how they just decided, hey, we built a 29-point lead by just jacking up threes and making them all. Why don't we just continue with that? And as a text messenger said to me, and then I confronted Rosen with that. Yeah, but had they made, even though they kept shooting, in the second half they went like 2 for 17 on 3-point shots or 3 for 15, whatever it was. And the idea that just keep jacking up threes, had they made 2 more of those, they would have won. So was it really that bad of a strategy? But I would say yes, because as you see, maybe it's not a bad strategy for the first 5, 8, 10 minutes of the third quarter. But when you see the lead being whittled down, and you see that we ain't making any threes right now, that's where I think you do change your strategy and you go, maybe we should just try to run some clock, pass the ball around. And, we got a really tall guy, he's 7'4". We should just try to feed it down to him down low and let him drop it in the basket. But the psychological part now becomes, I don't know. Are you so devastated? Are you so crushed taken aback by what happened, the comeback, that it's like it affects you going forward. I don't think so. I mean, that's always a part of it. And then I think that wouldn't really be a team concept. I think that would be like individual players just going, you know what, that was just terrible. I can't believe we did this. It's over. It's 3-1.
Well, they've already, that was the biggest gut punches of gut punches.
Yes.
But even game 2, in which they have the ball with 12 seconds left in a tied game, and Wemby just throws it off the back and turns it over to Stephon Castle, and they give up free throws. I mean, that was a pretty deflating way to lose a game as well. I have to imagine they're looking at this going, how are we down 3-1 in a series in which we lost a 29-point lead and another one where we gave the ball away just mindlessly at the end of the game?
My son plays a 12U game tonight at Mendocota Park, if you're interested. I have very little service, and I feel like I'm breaking up. Yes. I wish him well tonight. And if I'm in the neighborhood, I don't think I will be. I'll drop by and watch. I became a fan of the Buckman Billy Goats. I was driving through the town of Buckman. Remember we interviewed the guys on the air? They made a run to the state championship. I think they lost in either the semis or the championship game of town baseball. I think was it single A? They're in. And town ball was fun to watch. I was coming back from Grandview from Camp Richard, stopped at Sue's Drive-In in Piers and got a cheeseburger, onion rings, and a shake. And I go driving through Buckman, and lo and behold, after all the years of driving through, I never saw a game taking place at the field. I didn't even know if they really had a team anymore. They won the title in 1999. Lo and behold, I go by, and they're playing a game. So I pulled in, sat in the driveway that leads into the parking lot, just idled the car there and watched them play, and ate my lunch. It was fun, So, I mean, so I guess the pro thing, I wish them well. You know what? Look, I don't know. I don't think they're not selling tickets or anything out to the. You
just go out for free or what?
Yeah. Well, I don't even think it's that. I don't think it's really attended. It's more for it's a made for television.
Is it a spectator?
Event. Yeah. I mean, I think you can show up there. Lucky didn't seem to suggest you couldn't, but it's really not. It's mostly supposed to be. It's for TV. It's a made for TV event, and so. But that'll be happening.
I'll tell you what, though, I wouldn't have a desire to watch most of these events.
Right.
But given it's at Mystic Lake and I know all the holes and know how they're set up, I might,
Correct.
might tune in and take a look at it.
Yeah. Let's compare notes. Let's watch it next weekend. I'll give it a whirl. As long, like you say, as long as it's here in town.
Maybe we could start a tradition of watching it together, and then 30 years from now, Channel 4 could do a story on us.
That's a bonus. But you know what? Instead of just turning a blind eye to it, and
open mind,
have an open mind. Next week when it's at the Meadows at Mystic Lake, I'll tune in. Did we ever find out what network it's on? Is it on the Food Channel or Travel Channel?
I did not see. Could not find it.
Because I know it's nationally televised. They have a TV contract. Otherwise, you wouldn't do it, right? So it is. It's going to be on TV. So maybe I'll give it a shot. Maybe hockey's right. Maybe Lieber's right. Maybe it'll be exciting.
Well, at the very least, I think Lucky and Mystic Lake should have us out there ahead of time so we can get a feel of the golf course before the tournament stops.
I can arrange that. I can arrange that if you'd like to do that. If you can get some time away from the family, you're very busy. You have lots going on. But, yeah, let's go ahead and give it a shot. So I'll watch it. You watch it.
So it appears as if you can watch on their website or through Atmosphere or Discover TV. This is just the AI overview. I don't know.
So they really don't have a TV contract. I thought it was a TV contract. I thought this
if they're offering $500,000 per tournament, they must be. Yeah. They're making money somewhere. The problem is when you Google Pro Tour, a lot of the PGA Tour still comes up. Okay. So it's from a naming standpoint.
Well, let's look into it, and we'll come back and we'll watch it next week. Let's take a break. No 534. By the way, Peek at the Purple is brought to you by Affordable Electric. I forgot to mention that. We had those storms that rolled in, and if you had a power surge or think you might have had some damage to your electrical system at home, contact my friends at Affordable Electric, 612-331-VOLT, 612-331-VOLT, or online at affordable-electric.com.
By the way, you can't go and watch.
You can't?
No, it's not open to the public.
Oh, okay.
At this time.
At this time. So you cannot go and watch. But guess what? You can watch on TV. Well, let's pause and come back. Lil B, Feminine Touch of the program. She's next here on the Common Man program on the Fan.
Lil B joins Common next.